that height, the girl wouldn't fare much better than the cab.
Water tank depleted.
Excuse me,
Sir?
what's going on?
Just a citizen in trouble, all under control.
Anything I can do to help?
No need, sir. All under control.
Really? Why is the monopod locked down?
To keep people happy, sir.
How?
Well, this situation has the potential to be unpleasant. So we keep the situation contained until it can be resolved.
But I'd really like to go somewhere.
A little patience, sir, would be appreciated.
When will the monopod be unlocked?
When the situation is resolved.
Is there nothing I can do to help?
Just carry on enjoying Aspiration Day, sir.
But
Best leave this to the professionals, sir.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks.
Commencing lead down.
Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. Would that the circumstances were better. I dare say the young artist is in somewhat of a pickle.
Certainly looks that way.
The poet laureate Reginald Arthur Schnippel, Esquire, sends his regard.
How nice of you.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnippel is of course Sir's human neighbour. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved poet laureate is beyond imagining.
What do you think about...
As an artiste, I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
What should we do about that girl?
We should inform the Ministry of Well-Being.
But the Ministry is already here.
How very efficient! The missive was only sent a moment ago.
Can you think of a way of getting that girl down?
Gravity should do the job soon enough.
That's rather harsh.
Oh, did Sir mean get her down safely?
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
I'm Graham Grundy.
Of course, sir.
So we've met before?
Of course, sir.
When's the last time you saw Graham?
Master Grundy, one is sure one doesn't need to remind Sir that one works with Sir's neighbor.
One would need one to remind one.
Ah, does Sir mean Sir would need one to remind Sir, or one would need Sir to remind one?
One is not sure anymore. You have a real way with words.
Aha, Sir is referring to one's grammatical prowess, no?
Yes.
Sir is too kind. And yet, if only one could translate grammatical prowess into poetic inspiration.
Who are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II domestic savant, at your service.
So you're a servant?
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aid.
Have you heard any reports of missing...
Why, no, Master Graham. If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. So you like the graffiti?
I said it was a valid form of expression, but as art goes, it's not too abhorrent.
See you later, Tarquin.
Will I?
Huh? It's just...
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Such ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am in spot.
The girl looked almost frozen with fear. Hell of a place to get stuck. Are you okay?
No! I don't know how I got up here! Raquel! Raquel Dijon! Don't panic! I'm from the Ministry of Well-Being.
How can we help?
Nothing to see here, sir. I suggest you go back inside and enjoy some screen-based entertainment.
Excuse me? I'd like to make a complaint.
Please, both of you. I'm a welfare officer. I know how to deal with this kind of problem. I just need to check the negotiation protocol.
Well, thank goodness the Ministry is on this. It's all very distracting.
Can you see any way down from there?
No! And everything's wet now thanks to that robot.
Think you can get on the robot when it passes?
I could try. But what if...
We'll catch you. You can do it.
I rather doubt she can.
Can't you try and be more encouraging?
You have a reasonably good eye for aesthetics.
Thank you?
Now, grab on tight. We'll be right underneath you.
You'll be fine.
Human grip strength is famously reliable. Only in short bursts.
Okay, here goes.
Commencing lead-down. Water refill complete. Water tank depleted. Commencing lead-down. Water refill complete.
How do you feel, Raquel? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. Shall I call a pod for her?
I've got it from here, thank you. Raquel, what were you even doing up there?
I don't know. I don't really remember anything.
The girl looked glad to be back on solid ground. Excuse me?
Mr. Grundy. Oh, Mr. Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
Bravo, Mr. Grundy. Your actions in this situation were sublime, albeit unconventional. The local noise levels have already returned to normal, and the building will soon sparkle again.
I'm more concerned about the girl. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, blah, 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 and all that. Officer, wouldn't you say that Mr. Grundy's actions today warrant a kudos boost?
Of course. Thank you for the suggestion.
Tarquin, miss.
Orana. Orana Newblood.
Yeah, like the guy said. Graham Grundy.
Mr. Grundy?
So, do you work here?
I'm an officer for the Ministry of Well-Being.
You often have to talk girls off high ledges?
My first one.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
I'm on the trail of a missing kid called Milo. I think he's somewhere in Union City.
That shouldn't be difficult. Any greeter terminal will be able to find him via U-chip.
No, that won't help. He was brought here from the Gap.
That's not possible.
I assure you.
Where did you say you worked, Mr. Grundy?
That'd be the Ministry of Comfort.
I suggest you concentrate on your work and leave well-being issues to the appropriate ministry.
Raquel. Is she always like that?
What do you mean?
Well, I met her earlier and she seemed like a totally different person.
She's been through a big ordeal. Nothing that a trip to the reflection spa won't sort out.
Will she be in trouble for the graffiti?
Well, no real harm done. The droid will clean it up, eventually. That said, her kudos rating will take a hit.
All because she defaced Joey?
People loved Joey, and what he did for us.
Joey was my friend. We did so much together.
Well, he might be gone, but he's not forgotten. You can find out about our savior at the Museum of New History.
You mentioned I could find out about Joey in a museum?
Yes. The Museum of New History has exhibits about how he transformed the city. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to learn about him and his legacy.
A museum dedicated to Joey? He'd be proud of that for sure.
Well, it's not all Joey. They have a special exhibit about the previous administration. Old technology, maps, that sort of thing. My advice, though, is to avoid dwelling on the past. Anyway, taking in some culture is good for you. Find it at the piazza if you get the chance.
How is the girl doing?
She'll be fine. This sort of trauma is best handled at the reflection spa.
What is the reflection spa?
What is the... Are you feeling okay, Graham? Everyone this side of the industrial level has heard of reflections.
Oh, you mean that reflection spa. It's been a long day.
Next, you'll be asking me to tell you about this Joey guy.
No, I'm familiar. I guess I should get going.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help.
I suppose I should thank you too.
No problem. You take care.
You too, Mr. Grundy. If you need any well-being support, just ask for me at a greeter terminal, or Rana Newblood. Come on, Raquel, let's get you to the spa. You'll be feeling better in no time. No need to worry, Raquel. You're safe now. Happy faces all round, right? In fact, this calls for a celebration. It is Aspiration Day after all.
Oh, goodness. Is it?
All day. And you know what would be the best end to a day like this? A trip to the reflection spa. I'll pull a string or two, and we'll get you straight to the front of the line.
Water refill complete.
A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. There was an empty spot marked Bartleby Bilby. Excuse me, Songbird?
What is it, Graham?
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy. Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked. What's a mama bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies. Unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why. The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
Plinth was showing the toy's tracking data. All I needed to do was locate the area code E1594, find the tracker, find Leet. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. The pictures were all of Graham's wife.
Excuse me, please?
The pictures were all of Graham's wife. The pictures were all of Graham's wife. The pictures were all of Graham's wife.
Water tank depleted.
I had a lead, a map reference, E1594. Graham had put a tracker there. Maybe it was the key to finding his hacker friend, Leet.
Pod has been requested. Please wait for embarkation. Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
The piazza is the place for me.
It would be my pleasure, Citizen Graham.
And you've been keeping up with your daily polls?
You bet. I can't wait to find out about the new Spankles flavour of the month.
Don't forget to vote for the new elected officials.
Whatever. Spankles!
Anyway, I'm pleased to see your well-being in such good shape. Mr. Grundy, I didn't expect to see you again so soon.
Busy day, huh?
I'll say. Raquel is over in the reflection spar as we speak. She'll be back to normal in no time. I thought you'd want to know.
Thanks for looking after her.
No, thank you. You showed some real quick thinking back there. Now, how can I help you?
This is quite the place, isn't it?
The piazza? You make it sound like you've never seen it before.
Oh no, I mean there's a certain something in the air, isn't there?
That's Aspiration Day for you. Just wait for tonight's celebrations.
They'll be amazing. As usual, I'm sure. Is there anything happening around here?
You mean, apart from the Aspiration Gala?
Yes. I don't often come over this way.
Well, as always, there's the greeter terminals for information, and the Museum of New History to brush up on culture, but I don't need to tell you that, of course.
I'm still looking for information on that kid.
I'm sorry, but like, that sort of thing just...
Well, I'm pretty certain he was brought here in some kind of four-legged vehicle.
But how exactly do you know this, Mr. Grundy? Listen, I wish I could help, believe me. I've just not heard or seen anything of the sort. But if you find anything, do come and speak to me.
What are you doing here?
As a well-being officer, I like to be around people, promoting well-being for everybody.
Good to get out and about, I guess.
Well, it is Aspiration Day.
How is Raquel doing?
Don't worry, she'll be fine.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, not much to tell, really.
Hey, everyone's got a story.
True. Well, I came to Union City 10 years ago.
Where from?
The Gap. But I think you knew that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I thought... maybe. Do you miss it?
Honestly, I don't remember much about it. And what I do remember? It wasn't exactly luxury.
How is Raquel doing?
Don't worry, she'll be fine.
Does the location E1594 mean anything to you?
Well, E1594? That's just an area code based on the old map system. Totally obsolete. That system hasn't been used for years.
E1594 was an obsolete code. There had to be a way of finding that location. Thanks, Orana.
Have a great aspiration.
Orana seemed to be stationed all over the city. I needed to stay in her good books if I were to maintain my disguise. Leet was my only lead to discovering Graham's connection to the Stalker. And the obsolete map reference E1594 was the only lead I had to finding Leet. As I surveyed the room, I was greeted by a familiar face.
Hello, darling! Please enjoy the Museum of New History. Learn all about Union City in the post-Joey era.
It was a hologram of Danielle Piermont, a friend from when I last came to Union City.
Happy Aspiration Day. Fluids. You need them. We all do. But water isn't only scarce. It's dull. What's a good citizen to do? That's why famed Ministry of Plenty craniohydrologist Mr. Spankles created Spankles! Spankles is far more than just your recommended daily dose of vital fluids. Every can is bursting with micro-pleasurants to boost your mood and your aspirations. Doctors agree, just 2 cans a day are all you need to work and play. Spankles! Put a little fizz into your soul.
Warning, citizen. Cleaning route is active.
Fluids! You need them! We all do! But water isn't only scarce, it's dull! What's a good citizen to do? That's why famed Ministry of Plenty craniohydrologist Mr. Spankles created Spankles! Spankles is far more than just your recommended daily dose of vital fluids. Every can is bursting with Who saved us from starving in sadness and hate? Savior Joey! Put clothes on our backs and food on our plates. Savior Joey! Who made Union City the best thing for miles. Savior Joey! Makes everything nice and has nothing but smiles. Savior Joey! Savior Joey! Savior Joey! Savior Joey!
Greetings, citizen. We are the Council, your democratically elected representatives. 5 years ago, Savior Joey decreed that we take charge of our own destiny and prove ourselves worthy of the freedom that he brought.
We invite you to salute the people of Asio City, our faraway friends and valued members of the Union Group. Unstinting and determined cooperation has allowed both cities to grow to become the richest cities in the world. We stand together, refuting the fake news spread by Hobart in their attempt to undermine our unity. Join us in celebrating our commonwealth of kindred spirits, united by bonds of friendship.
The centerpiece of the whole museum was a synthetic arm. I recognized it. It was Joey's. He'd lost it in our fight against Link all those years ago.
Look, look, look! Over here!
Dad, do you have to be so loud?
The arm! Isn't it amazing?
Seemed like I wasn't the only one interested in the Joey arm.
Didn't I promise? Didn't I say I'd bring you here?
You did, Dad. I'm so stoked.
This is Joey's arm! This was once attached to the really real Joey! Savior of Union City!
Here begins the story of Joey.
Aren't you feeling blessed to be here?
Evil.
Of course I am, Dad. But
Then tell the world! How awesome is this place, huh?
Their voices cried out.
It's what?
From deep in the gap. Savior Joey.
Say it again!
Their pleas and came to free us all.
Yes! Oh, you've got it!
I'm just gonna...
Seriously? It's Joey's arm! Why would you want to look at anything else?
And there was great suffering. Only through great sacrifice did the Savior defeat oppressor Link and declare the city free. But his work had only just begun. Triumphant, he rose from the depths to guide us to a glorious future. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Savior Joey leashed the oppressor Link to serve and protect the people, and founded the council to restore the rule of democracy. Then, his work complete, he departed the city to spread his wisdom to the savage peoples of the world. In the Savior's name, the Council formed the 5 ministries that continue to guide Union City in this new golden era. Aspiration, safety, comfort, consumption, well-being. The glorious pillars of the city, ever vigilant in the protection of your happiness. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Someone had gone to the trouble of retrieving the dismembered arm from the depths of Union City.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey. Wow, you look different.
What do you mean?
Your outfit. It's so...
Functional?
I was just gonna say weird.
If mine's weird, what color is yours supposed to be?
Duh. It's perinickel margarine. It's like Tuesday's happiest color. Where are you even from?
You'd never believe me.
This museum visit just got way more interesting.
I like your brooch.
This? You mean you've never seen one of these? You must be from the Gap or something.
Me? No. Good one.
It's an aspiration brooch. The council awards them to people who max out their kudos each month. Social climbers, they're known as.
You must be an incredible person.
What, me? No, it's my dad who earned the kudos, obviously. Talk to him if you want to know who to impress.
Then, how did you get yours?
Oh, Dad got a second one. Bring a friend or something.
So they're transferable?
Technically, yes.
Does this social climber status do anything for you?
Absolutely. First, everybody who sees you can tell that you've been a model citizen all month.
Very inspirational, I'm sure.
Actually, it's kinda embarrassing. Everyone just stares at you all day. It's not like you even get anything good from it. Not really.
Then what's the point?
I guess if you really care, you get to go look around the special exhibits over in the old history room. Dad gets so excited by that sort of stuff. Can't stop staring at the old map.
An old map? In the old history exhibit?
Yeah, shows the city as it was 10 years ago. He's obsessed with how terrible things were in the pre-Joey era.
So there's a map in the old history exhibit showing the city as it was?
Yes, and it's old. Everything in there is.
Hey, listen, I know we just met, but I really was hoping to get one of those brooches. Need to check out the old history exhibit.
Let me guess. You were hoping I'd give you mine.
That's right.
No offense, but you don't seem as evangelical as most Joey freaks. What's back there that's so important to you?
The reaffirmation of my faith in Savior Joey, of course.
Oh, yeah. Seeing life before Joey really puts things into perspective. You should go check that out. I'm just so fascinated by this arm.
I'm really interested in that
So I can tell. Why exactly are you so keen to get inside the old history exhibit anyway?
Do you ever feel like you're not being given the whole truth about the city?
You mean how perfect everything is? Yeah. Sometimes it does seem a bit.
If I were a cynic, I might call some of it a little unbelievable.
Don't say that around my dad. He really buys into all this stuff. Hey, listen. You and me, we're on the same wavelength here. And it's a different wavelength than my father.
He does seem very devout.
Right? And honestly, just staring at an old arm gets dull. You can just walk out, but I'm stuck here.
And you can just go into the back while I can't.
I'll make a deal with you. You give my dad a reason to leave, and I'll give you this dumb thing. You in?
Okay, I'm in. That brooch in exchange for your freedom.
Finally. Praise Joey.
Praise? Yes, praise Joey. The girl had agreed to give me her aspiration brooch if I could somehow get her father to leave the museum.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Happy Aspiration Day.
Alert. Trajectory obstructed.
Union City wishes Union City is now the envy of the City wishes all citizens a happy aspiration.
But, Joey, after all that I did to maximize my kudos, why have you forsaken me? I worked so hard. I did every...
That's okay, Dad. It's all right.
But Cecily... I just don't understand.
Come on now, Dad. Let's go get you a nice can of Spankles at the cafe.
Yes. Yes, I think that'll do the trick. I think it's time I tried that move.
I very much enjoyed our talk today, Mystery Man. It's been... eye-opening.
I'm glad we could reach an arrangement, miss.
Featherbottom. Cecily Featherbottom. Best aspiration day ever. Here you go. A deal's a deal. Until we meet again, may the light and wisdom of Savior Joey smile upon you. Happy Aspiration Day.
Union City wishes all citizens... Welcome to the Old History exhibit, young lady.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
Meet Spunky, lifelong friend and companion of our benefactor, Danielle Piermont. Spunky was a friend to all low-life citizens and a true symbol of Union City spirit until he was found drowned in a pond at the tender age of 7. Through this exhibit, may his bark be with us always.
Excuse me?
Oi! Keep the noise down.
Oh, sorry.
A little respect while you're in this hallowed place.
Right. And you're a guard here?
Name's Payne. Roy Allen Payne. Ex-security officer, 30 years on the force. And I've got my eyes on you.
What exactly is this exhibit?
What is the exhibit, he asks. Joey, this is the Old History exhibit. The definitive collection of Union City artifacts. Courtesy of our illustrious benefactor, Mrs. Piermont herself.
It just looks like a load of old junk from the old regime.
Junk? No. Old regime? Yes. In the days before our savior took control.
What sort of things are inside this exhibit?
Just take a look around. Relics. Relics of a bygone era. We got tech in here over 5 years old.
And does it all still work?
Most of it should. Say what you like about the old regime, but stuff was made to last.
Are you the only person working here?
The only person? Yes. Not thinking of trying something funny, are we, son?
Absolutely not.
Jolly good. Because I don't think funny is funny.
I don't doubt it.
And the robots that work for me, they don't like funny either.
They work for you?
Well, not for me. Technically, I suppose they're my co-workers.
Does this museum really need security?
There's always something going on beneath the veil.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Let's just say I'm no stranger to vandals, thieves, enemy agents.
And you can handle those?
Well, it is down to me to supervise the exhibit of old history, including but not limited to the security of the displays and artifacts.
I heard that you have an old map of the city in here.
Did you now? And what precisely did you hear?
That it shows Union City as it was 10 years ago. See, I have an obsolete area code, E1594, and I need to see where it is.
I see. Well, the map table is just over in the center of the room. But a specific area code, that'd be like finding a needle in a haystack. Good luck, son.
Is there some way to make that map show a specific location?
Come now, sir. This is not a child's toy room. That map table is for observation, not human interaction.
Well, is there anything else around here that could help me?
Sir, this special collection is for esteemed social climbers. Urban geographical hobbyists need to look elsewhere.
See you later.
I'll be watching you.
A padlock prevented whatever was inside from getting out. It was an old fridge. There were strange noises coming from it, as if something was trapped inside.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
This old city refrigeration unit is one of the last known relics of the great gastroenteritis crisis, a particularly dark piece of pre-Joey history. Its seal remains unbroken to preserve its mysteries, and per request of the Ministry of Comfort's janitorial staff. Protect your family with Spankles, the only food replacement guaranteed to be irradiated for your safety and drinking pleasure.
Union City still had some pretty backward views on the Gap. These models were far too clean-cut to be Gaplanders. They'd done a good job with the goat, though.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
Life in the Gap has always been primitive. Here we see a typical scene of two fully grown Gaplanders eking out an existence in the harsh wastes of the desert. Note the animal they are about to slaughter, most likely the now extinct quadruped commonly known as a goat. Goats were fierce predators, which were notoriously difficult to trap. Our two models here were clearly top hunters.
Ten years ago, I'd used the old underground system to reach the heart of Link. The gruesome tendrils pulsed ominously. The product of Link, an experimental fusion of man with computer that had ended in tyranny. The Joey Speaks looked like a gimmick, but I couldn't pass the opportunity to hear my old buddy's voice again. The hand scanner looked broken. I doubted I'd be able to use it anytime soon. The wiring to the hand scanner had been ripped out. It was never going to work.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
These humble scraps of primitive circuitry house the spark that would become our beloved savior, Joey. Many disciples of the Savior hold this board up as an example of immaculate assembly with rather less than immaculate soldiering. Notice, this attraction is currently closed after complaints of language of a most unsavior-like nature.
The old Link terminal had long since stopped working.
The information droid will be with you
Union
shortly.
City's original digital curation device. Through terminals such as these, Link was used to control all aspects of citizens' lives. Their tyranny was ended when Savior Joey arrived, and took control of the city. Joey replaced Link with our venerated Minos system, dedicated to creating the best city possible in which all citizens can be happy.
I'd had a run-in with this tech all those years ago. I hoped Union City had gone in a more sustainable direction.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
To power our glorious city, we used to use dangerous fuels. These days, we burn our waste and use that to provide all the power our citizens will ever need.
A giant holographic map of Union City as it was 10 years ago. If I could get the map to display area E1594, I would find the building where I suspected Graham had met with Leet. A metal panel was bolted onto the side of the table. Waving my crowbar around in public wasn't going to achieve anything.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
This holographic map demonstrates the success of the Council in revitalizing Union City according to Joey's guidance. With new Council-approved technology, every citizen can finally look up and see clear blue skies.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
Just 10 years ago, this lumbering barrel transporter robot was the height of technological sophistication. Designed to carry anything, provided that it fit into a barrel, these primitive robots paved the way for the Savior's arrival.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
La la la, la 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 la. Joey? La la la, la 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 la. Joey, it's me, Foster.
Foster? It is really you?
Hey, old buddy. Boy, am I glad to see...
Let's talk more crowbar, Foster. Or whatever other great idea you have for getting me out of here.
Is that Joey?
Joey, I'm so sorry. I had no idea what they'd done to you.
Yeah, save your apologies for after you've got me out of this.
Everybody, it's an Aspiration Day miracle. Joey's speaking to us.
No, that's not Joey. No way.
Joey, it's really you?
Oh, great. Here we go again.
Joey. Excuse me?
What is it now?
Looks like that Joey Speaks attraction is working again.
I am well aware, son. I thought I made sure that it could never work again.
It's fixed. Is that such a bad thing?
Yes, that's what I mean, son. It's not supposed to talk. I shut him up years ago, and for good reason.
Why has the fridge got a lock on it?
Do I look like an information robot? All I know is that it's locked.
It sounds like there's something alive in there.
I once heard about a terrible creature with big red eyes and a long tail, living in the darkness, waiting.
I hope it's not one of those. Mind if I open the fridge?
And let whatever's inside out? Of course you can't.
See you later.
Enjoy the exhibits. Quietly.
The information droid will be with you shortly.
The hand scanner looked broken. I doubted I'd be able to use it anytime soon.
Disrespectful noise. Quiet down. It's the meaning of this. Nonsense. There's no... Everybody out! Make your way to the exit in an orderly manner.
The exhibit was on vermin-prompted lockdown. I had to find a way out without being detected, but not before figuring out where this leak guy was hiding out. Not to mention rescuing Joey. A metal panel was bolted onto the side of the table. The panel had been covering the table's interface port. An antiquated interface port was built into the side of the table. The hand hand scanner looked broken. I doubted I'd be able to use it anytime soon. The old vacuum robot looked familiar.